Hello, everyone. Welcome back to BU Project. So excited to have you join again. I'm so grateful for those that have subscribed to this channel and on YouTube, and those that have subscribed to our channel on Spotify. I'm really glad to have you here with us. And my desire is that this content really speaks to you and that it's helpful and that you find ways to use it as part of your everyday life. You know, there is so much content out there, isn't there? And I love listening to podcasts and I love watching things on YouTube. And you've just got to find the right thing that works for you, the right content, the right person. And I just want to say I'm so grateful for you joining me here. Um, Hopefully we can do this more regularly, but I'm just building this up as God leads me. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for being here with me. It's actually a Sunday afternoon, so the sun is setting, and hopefully it doesn't get too dark before I finish this recording today. But I just wanted to talk about a topic that I don't know how you would feel about it. You might be on the fence about this topic, but I really just wanted to talk from my perspective on the topic, which is how to be successful. And so that's what we're talking about today. If you haven't listened to my last episode, it was about how to get out of a rut. And I talked through 4 ways to do that. And so please have a listen. I think it will really benefit you, especially if you find that you are in a rut at the moment. It will also help to identify what it means to be stuck in a rut, what are the signs of being stuck in a rut, and then what you can do to really get yourself out of that rut. And if you have listened to it, I'd love to hear your feedback. Did you find it helpful? Was there things that you learnt from it that you are applying to your life now? The key to learning and taking something that you have learned and applying it into your life is that application, right? You know, we can listen to something, we can listen to a sermon, we can listen to a podcast, we can listen to a TED talk, and we can think it's amazing. But if we're not applying that into our lives, then there's really no change. You know, it's not going to make a difference in our life if we don't take the things that we have learned and really put it into practice. And so I just want to encourage you that when you hear things that inspire you, when you hear things that you know that can really make a difference in your life, what you need to do is take that and put it into practice. And that's when that change will start to happen for you. So, anyways, just wanted to share that and hope you found that encouraging. But today I wanted to talk about how to be successful. And so with BU, with our company, I couldn't think of the word, the company, what we do is we help women to really understand what their purpose is and to identify their purpose and how to make that a reality and take that and to really achieve their goals and their dreams. So you could be a mum, you know, you have a dream and desire, and you're a mum and you're feeling really tired and exhausted, and you know that there's so much more for you, but you're not sure how to get there. You're not sure how to overcome the tiredness that you feel, maybe even the limited beliefs that you have, and sometimes you feel guilty for wanting to pursue a dream or desire. And so what BU is there is to help women, like if that's you, to help women like you find ways to step into what God is calling you to do. You could be a professional woman who you know that there's more in life for you. You know that there's a purpose, there is something welling up inside of you, and you're not sure how to make it a reality. Well, this is why we're here. We're here to help women just like you to take that step from A and to move on to B and C and D and to keep thriving and to keep moving forward. And we do that in different ways. We do that through our podcast. We do that through releasing content and resources. And a big part of it is we do it through coaching as well. So we provide one-to-one coaching for women all across the world that want to take that step where they're moving from where they are and into where they believe that God is calling them to go. And so that's why we exist as BU Project. It's helping you become your true self and achieve your dreams and achieve your goals. And a big part of that is defining success. And one of the things that I used to slip up on was thinking that success was a certain amount of money, that success was what that other person had. It was a type of job, it was a career title, it was how I looked. All of those things I would say that I thought would define my success. But over time, through life experience, that's really not the case for me. I would not define my success based on the amount of money I have in the bank. And so I wanted to talk about how to be successful for you, not for your neighbor, not for the woman next to you, but how to be successful for you. And I feel like women are going to find a bit of breakthrough today by unpacking the topic of how to be successful for you. And so I just want to pause and say, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do. You can subscribe here on YouTube or even on Spotify as well, and that way you can keep up to date with content that's released regularly. So one of the a quote from Brian Tracy is that successful people have successful habits. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit more. But one of the limitations to our own success is comparison. So that's a big thing that limits women into determining what is successful for them. Instagram is it's great and bad, isn't it? Like you get so much tips and advice and ideas and inspiration, but on the flip side, it can be like, oh my goodness, do I have to live up to that woman? Do I have to live up to that mom that makes the perfect lunch boxes for her kids? Or do I have to live up to that successful entrepreneur who has 1 million followers and I only have 100? Or, no, that we need to stop comparing ourselves to each other because it's not helpful. Now, you can find inspiration from them, you can find encouragement from them. And as women, we need to do that. We need to encourage each other, we need to cheer each other on. That is such a beautiful thing to do when we cheer other women on. So don't compare yourself. And also, we need to step back and really understand, am I using someone else's definition of success for my own success? And if that's the case, we really need to get clear on what success means for us. Now, again, what I said before, I believe that success is not about how much money we have in the bank or a title or our car. I think success goes so much further than all of those things. And all of those things are great if that's part of what you want to achieve, but it shouldn't be your end goal. It shouldn't be your destination of where you want to go. I think those things get added along the way as you're making your way to where you are, heading in life. So let's just take a moment, and I want you to just think about, how have you defined success? Or how have you let other people define success for you? So just take 30 seconds and kind of think through, what is my actual definition of success? And have I based it on what other people have shown me or told me that success looks like? So take 30 seconds and just have a think. And so now that you've kind of paused and had to think about it, would you say your success is defined by someone else? Is it by what we see on social media? Is it by what we see on the news? Is it by what we see celebs living up to? Is that how we define our success? So the first thing we need to do to create our own success definition, and this will help you become successful in life for you, is to define your own success. So you need to create your own definition of success. So I want you to either right now, you can pause this video, this podcast, and I want you to write down, what is your definition of success? You can take as long as you need to and write it out. And so your definition of success could be, I want to have freedom, or I want to see all my children go through university. Or success could be, I want to see a reduction in bullying in schools. Whatever it is, what is your success? I want our home to be a happy home filled with peace. I want our family to be able to, or love Jesus. What is your definition of success? So write it out. And then as you write out your definition of success, I want you to write out the feelings associated with your success. So how are you going to feel? So how would you know you're successful? What are the feelings that come with it? What are the emotions that come with it? Is it peace? Is it happiness? Is it satisfaction? So write out, what is your definition? And then what are the feelings and emotions that you can associate when you become successful? Now, you may already be successful. And so some of you, this activity may be just making you aware that you're already successful in your own eyes. And that is amazing. Don't ever let anyone define success for you and tell you, you need to do this and you need to be that and you need to have the mum that has it all together and you need to be the mum that house is clean and you've got this and you've got that. Too much pressure. We're putting too much pressure on ourselves. And one of the things that BE wants to champion is women being themselves. And that means living according to your values, living according to your definition of success, living according to the calling that God has for you and not someone else, which is why we're all about being you. And so write out your definition and get clarity on that and take as long as you need, because that's going to really help you figure out what success means for you. And then once you have that definition, in order to achieve that success for you, there's a couple of things that will help you. The first thing is your mindset. Now, I did talk a little bit about mindset in the last podcast, how to get out of a rut. And so if you haven't listened to that yet, go back and listen to it because it'll be really helpful. But your mindset plays a big part in success, in determining if you can achieve the success that you have now defined. So if you have a negative mindset, you're less likely to achieve that success. I think about people that are successful in their own way, whatever success has meant for them, they've had to push past the limitation of a negative mindset, right? If you were to think of two people, one person has a negative mindset, one person has a positive mindset, who would you say would be more likely to be successful? The person with the positive mindset. And now in the word, God says to renew your mind. And so we need to be able to really understand where our mindset is at. Now, if you need some help with that, I actually have a resource called the Mindset ebook. If you'd like a copy, let me know and I can send it to you. And what it does is it takes you through changing your mindset. It has 3 powerful steps in there. It's free. I'm happy to send it to you. So let me know if you would like a copy, and that will help you if you need a bit of adjusting for your mindset. All right. We also offer coaching. If you feel like there is something that you would like to tackle, then let's chat and let's see if coaching might help you as well. So that's the first thing. Look at your mindset. The second thing is we need to create a plan. Now that we have this definition of success, okay, how are we going to get there? If our success is to create flexibility for our family, to create freedom, to be debt free, how are we going to get to that place of successful for you? So you need to create a plan. And what I want you to do is list out, I want you to think about, okay, if I need to get to X, then I need to take 1, 2, 3. I need to take these steps. And I want you to write out what that plan is. Now, you can use SMART goals if you like. SMART goals is helpful to, if you don't know what it is, SMART goals really helps people to achieve their goals because it makes it really specific. It makes your goal measurable. It makes it achievable. Sometimes we give ourselves unrealistic goals and then we never reach it. And then we wonder why we never reach it. It makes it relevant to where you want to go. And then you put a frame on it. So you give yourself like a due date, right? So you can use SMART goals. But the biggest and the most important thing is to create that plan for you. Now, when you create a plan, it takes your definition of success and it really helps to make it a reality. And then we start to go, okay, so I need to take this step, and then that step, and then the next step. And review your plan regularly as well, because you may need to pivot and shift, and that's completely fine. When you create a plan or you create your goals, sometimes we're so stuck to that. And sometimes the goals we've created or the plan we've created isn't actually aligning to where we need to go. So if you need to change it, that's completely okay. And that comes through constantly reviewing and reflecting and analyzing your plan and making sure it's the right plan for you. And then the other thing is to become consistent in those things. So the quote I said before, Brian Tracy, he said that successful people have successful habits. Now, it's not about being born into a wealthy family. It's not about having everything handed to you. Most successful people don't just wake up one day and they're successful. It takes time, it takes effort, and it takes consistency. All right. So when you've got your plan, you need to figure out what are you going to do daily to achieve your definition of success. And I keep saying your definition because it's what matters to you. Remember, it's not your friends, it's not the girl next to you. It's not the woman you see on Instagram that's got 500,000 followers because she creates these perfectly cut out sandwiches that she puts in her lunchbox, which is lots of fun, right? But is it realistic for some of us? No, it's not. And so we want to get a bit more realistic. Um, Actually, I've started following this incredible woman on Instagram who I can't remember her name, but she does cleaning. She shows how she cleans when she goes to hotels, and she shows how she cleans her home and all that kind of stuff, and her fridge and how she stocks her fridge. Now, for me, I don't know if I'll ever get there, to be honest, but I love watching it because I find it really like satisfying. And I find it like, oh my goodness, like you get tips from that, right? But I'm not comparing myself to her. I'm not saying, oh my goodness, my standard's got to be the same as her standard, because that doesn't work. I find what I take from her is, oh, that's a good tip. Oh, that's helpful to know. Or I just enjoy watching her videos, right? So I think the thing is you've got to take what you can and leave what you have to. Don't let Instagram and social media become the thing you compare your life against. You can use it as motivation, absolutely, but don't let it become the thing that you feel like you have to live by because it's not going to work for you because it's their definition of success for them is not the same as yours. Yours is yours. But we need to get consistent. So create your plan and become consistent every day. Um, it's really important that we take small steps. I'm a huge believer that it's the small steps that lead to the big changes in our lives. It's the small steps that lead us to achieving our goals. You want to build muscle. How do you do that? You go to the gym, you go every day, you keep working at it, keep working at it, keep working at it. Even when you don't see it, you keep working at it. And eventually the muscles will start to form. You'll start to see definition. Could take 6 to 12 months. But the key to it is that you've been consistent throughout the whole journey. You haven't just gone, I want to get a six pack and go to the gym once, and the next day you have a six pack. I mean, that would be amazing, but that's not reality. Reality is that you've got to consistently work towards achieving your goals and your dreams and success. And so you create a plan and then you work out what are your actionable steps to creating, achieving that success for you. It's super, super important. And you know what? It's going to feel so mundane. There are some days where I'm like, I don't want to be here when I'm at the gym. And I'll go home and I weigh myself. And I weigh more than when I started going to the gym. And it's so discouraging. But I know that if I keep being consistent, keep showing up, keep eating healthy, keep, you know, um, helping my body feed it with nutrition and exercise, I know that eventually I'll start to see change and results. But I've got to keep being consistent. So that's a couple of tips. So create your plan and become consistent in your daily habits. Very important. Another thing I would say is how to become successful is learning to take care of yourself for the long haul. Now, what I mean by that is that I think success is a journey, and I think our definition of success can change. And once you reach um, one goal, you might then change it and it may become bigger, or you may pivot, or whatever it is. But one of the important things is to take care of yourself, making sure you're getting enough sleep. I talk about this in the previous episode, how to get out of a rut, why it's important to sleep well, to eat well, to exercise, to really make sure that you're taking care of your relationship with God and with others. We only get this one shot at this life. And I don't know about you, but I feel like time's going so fast. I mean, we are pretty much halfway through November. Christmas is next month. It's crazy. And we have a lot on our plates, and we're tired, and we are trying to get through everything that is on our to do list. And one of the biggest things that's going to help you maintain longevity is when you take care of yourself, getting the rest you need, eat healthy. I'm learning what that means for me, learning how to make sure my body's getting the right nutrition. It plays such a big role in longevity. And I also believe it plays a big role in being successful, the way we take care of ourselves. Maybe go buy yourself some face masks, or go for a massage. Maybe shout one of your girlfriends a massage, or go with your girlfriend. Go for a smoothie, learn how to make some yummy smoothies. Keep it simple, but make sure, find that book that you can just get lost in. Um, Maybe stop the scrolling on Instagram. Gosh, it's tough. It's so tough. I can get lost in scrolling. And I'm like, oh my goodness, Sarah Jane, you spent an hour scrolling on Instagram for what? And then I just kind of get into a bit of a hole. Um, and you know what? I find a lot of things entertaining on Instagram, but is it helpful? No, it's not, because it's taken away precious time from other things that's important to me. So just be aware of it, especially before bedtime. Read a book instead if you like reading, or do something else other than scrolling on Instagram. I do want to challenge people on that, because it's a big black hole, the world of social media. And I think we've got to limit how much time we spend on it for our own sanity, and for our own ability to achieve our success. So take care of yourself, really important. And then I would say that the last tip, in order to become successful, is to constantly reflect and grow. I started this podcast off by saying that to see change in our life, we've got to apply the things we learn, right? We don't change and grow if we're not applying. So application is really important. A big part of knowing how we are going on our journey is to reflect regularly. I've talked about journaling before. I'm a big believer in journaling. And I think it's important to schedule in time in our diaries to evaluate how we're going. This week, did I follow my action plan? Today, did I do things that's going to lead me to success? Today, did we have, if one of your definitions is around family, then maybe you need to ask yourself, did we sit together for dinner at the table? Did we put our phones away? Did we have good quality time today? Did we read the Bible together? Whatever it is. And the thing about reflecting is not to condemn yourself. Hey, women, we like to kind of put ourselves down and condemn ourselves. It's not about that at all. It's about just understanding, where can we make improvements, and what can we do better tomorrow? Because tomorrow is always a new day. It's a blank canvas, hey? And so, I ate takeaway today. I ate a whole tub of ice cream, or I ate pizza slices, or whatever it is. Tomorrow you have an opportunity to start over, to do better. And that's why, if you pause and reflect and evaluate, it gives you that opportunity to see where improvements can be made in your life. And so reflect, grow, and just allow yourself time to do that. It's so important. And then I'm just going to chuck in a bonus one. as well is in order to be successful in life, and if you're a believer and you're a Christian like me, one of the big things in order to be successful is being obedient to the Holy Spirit. And why I say that is that obviously we have been created on purpose for a purpose. And the person that gives us our purpose is God, right? He gives us a calling for our lives. He shows us what he wants for us, and then he puts desires in our hearts. And so in order for us to be successful, God gives us the blueprint to do that. And He gives us everything we need in order to achieve the dreams and the goals and the visions that He set up for us. And so, a big part of that is to be obedient to Him. So, in your quiet time, ask Him, how can you move towards the goals and the dreams that He's put in your life? Ask Him, what's the next step? And some of us need to go back and look at what was the last thing he was telling us to do. In fact, I preached recently on faith, and faith is complete trust and confidence in someone or something. But if you look at the Hebrew definition of faith, it also talks about supporting God. So it's about it talks about in James that faith is partnered with action. So it's not just about belief; it's also about taking action. And so I believe that if you want to be successful, you've got to take action in your life. And sometimes that action can be scary, it can be daunting, but if you've created your action plan and you've broken it down into smaller steps, it's going to be so much easier to achieve those goals. Say we want to lose 10 kilos, right? Okay, that's a big goal and that can be quite overwhelming for some people. Now, what we want to do is we want to break it down. So maybe our definition of success is we want to be healthy and have longevity. Okay, so part of that is losing 10 kilos. So, what I would do is break it down week by week, day by day. So, want to lose 1 kilo a week because that's reasonable, maybe even zero point 0.5 kilos to 1 kilo. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to go to the gym for 45 minutes every day. I am going to create my meal plan at the start of the week. I might even meal prep. I'm going to give myself one cheat meal on a Friday night because that's when we have date night. And I'm going to take things out of the cupboard that's going to tempt me, like biscuits and things with sugar and ice cream and all that sort of stuff. And then at the end of the week, I'm going to see how I went. Obviously, I'm going to weigh myself once a week. If you weigh yourself every day, for me, it can get really discouraging. So I'm going to weigh myself once a week or even measure myself. And I'm going to look back over my week. You can use my Fitness Pal. There's so many, you can journal what you eat. And that way you can see how you've done and if you've made progress. And then if you feel like you haven't made progress, then you can shift some things around and make your plan for the next week. And then 10 weeks, by the end of the 10 weeks, you would have made changes in progress towards losing the 10 kilos. So we've got to take action and we've got to be obedient to what the Holy Spirit is telling us to do as well. So the biggest thing that I'd love you to take away from this is to be successful really begins with creating your own definition of success. And when I found that out, it was actually such a relief for me because comparison was a really big thing for me. Um, really comparing myself to other women who's really made it in what I do in coaching and all that kind of stuff, who looked a certain way, who had a certain amount of money in the bank, who drove certain cars. And I just realized that their definition of success is not mine. And it was like a whole weight just lifted off my shoulders. And that's what I'd love for you today is that by understanding that your definition of success is yours, I hope that that takes the pressure off some of us. I hope that takes the pressure off you and gives you that chance to restart and reset and go, you know what? Okay, I love watching the lady who makes the incredible lunch boxes or who cleans the hotel rooms before once she gets there. But that's not my definition of success. This is what my definition is. And this is what I'm going to live by. And I'm not going to compare myself to anyone else. And so I just hope you find this helpful. Again, please subscribe to either YouTube or Spotify, as we are going to be releasing more topics. And I really want this to be a place where you feel safe, and to be a place where you find this really helpful in helping you to achieve your dreams and your goals, and to live the life that God is calling you to live. I really believe that you will do it. You will be successful. So define your own version of success. Thanks for joining me today. Have an incredible day and week, and we'll see you